Hey, welcome to the underground, you rebel scum. This is the American Expat. I'm glad that you're here. So, really, I'm glad that you're here. I mean, you're not really here. I'm talking to a camera, but I'm glad that you're here watching the video on my channel. Anyway, Gen Z. You know, I've heard a lot about Gen Z. There's been a lot of marketing, lots of companies talking about how, you know, they have to switch because the market's going to be changing. They have to prepare for Gen Z. So they do a lot of crazy stuff. You've probably noticed it with some very familiar companies. They may not be your favorites anymore. But all of that was done in the name of getting ready for Gen Z. And guess what? It turns out they're completely wrong about what Gen Z likes. And I've got a little bit of a gripe with the marketing industry as it is now and what they're teaching students in universities about marketing and the laziness of it all. We'll talk about that here in just a second, so stick around. You'll have to excuse me. I'm still just a little bit under the weather. Whatever it is that's hit me, I think it's because it's coming from two directions, you know. Allergies and a cold or whatever this is. Do colds last a few days? Maybe it's the flu. Maybe it's COVID. Oh my gosh. Either way. Gen Z. So yeah, I like I said, you know, I've been hearing a lot about this, and I have felt in my heart of hearts that marketing professionals were wrong about Gen Z and all this crazy stuff that they thought. They just assumed that they're all super woke and into all this crazy stuff. And it turns out they're so wrong. So I was on Newsweek. You know, this is Newsweek. It's not exactly a right-wing publication by any means. They talked about this, how Gen Z seems to prefer Donald Trump. And the survey that they're quoting in their article actually comes from Harvard, which, you know, the crazy woke university that you're all familiar with. Let me see. According to this survey that they did, they found that 57% of voters, people who were actually registered to vote, they approved of Donald Trump's job performance when he was president. Now, that's just overall. Then you kind of like sift through the data, and they found that people who are Gen Z registered voters, it's even to a greater degree, like to the ridiculous degree. 2/3, 64%? 64% of registered Gen Z voters approve of Donald Trump. They like Donald Trump. That's remarkable. Now, I know you're probably hearing this and thinking like, well, that's, good news if you're on the side of the Republicans and Donald Trump. Well, maybe not the Republicans, but the Donald Trump crowd, you know, that he's got pretty good chances going forward, or maybe the country is not all lost as it seemed before. But to me, it also points out, what were they thinking with all the crazy woke marketing stuff that's been going on? One that comes to mind especially would be like Bud Light, you know, the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. They did all of that in the name of, we need to capture the Gen Z market. They're coming in of age and it's time to start marketing to them. Where did they get their information from? Who told them? I think I know, because I'm a little bit familiar with the marketing stuff and what they're teaching in the universities right now when it comes to marketing. It's the laziest thing. I'll tell you, because I already know. I'm not going to hold you in suspense or anything. It's because they use social media metrics. They have been sold this idea that social media metrics are so good that it's such an incredible tool that they don't have to rely on anything else. None of the traditional stuff that's been used for marketing purposes and finding information about a market. They can just do whatever social media tells them. Well, it turns out that social media metrics are, well, they're BS. They're absolute garbage. It's a total fraud. I mean, we know that, those of us who actually get on the internet that are real people, that, even on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, 80% of the users are bots. That's not going to give you very good information. That's not going to tell you about a market if you're trying to like market to, whatever. Nobody's marketing to millennials. We're a bunch of kooks. But, you're looking at Gen Z and it's like, well, this is what the metrics are telling me. This is what the metadata says. I guess I need to hire Dylan Mulvaney, and I need to, you get like Target, with their weird clothing lines that they were trying to sell to kids. Yeah, that's because they think that's what Gen Z likes. And it turns out when you actually do real checking on real, using traditional methods, that's completely wrong. And they wonder why Bud Light failed like it did. It's like, we did it. What happened? We did exactly what our professors told us to do. And it blew up in our face. Well, it's because your professor is a moron. I don't know how else to say it. These are supposed to be people who have experience with marketing, and they're selling this idea that social media is the answer to all of your problems, and you don't have to do anything else. Just get the social media information, and there it is. Well, there you go. It's completely garbage. And that's why the whole world is burning and on fire, because, well, we decided to abandon our traditional methods and go into whatever, just total garbage, laziness. Now, I don't know. Maybe these people are just stupid. That's a possibility. I don't think so. I think that they, like the lady that, has been totally lambasted for what she did to Bud Light. To be fair, she was just doing what she thought she was supposed to do. She was doing exactly what she had been taught in her classes. She relied on information that she thought was sound, and it was a total fraud. If I were her, I would be suing the social media companies who give garbage information, who claim that they have all this information about users and what's popular and what people are doing and talking about, knowing it's a total fraud, and selling you that information like it's gold. Yeah, I would be looking to sue those companies, because it's just a fraud. The same thing for anyone who's advertising on social media platforms. Some of them might be okay, I don't know, but a lot of it's just total fraud. You're putting your stuff in front of bots that aren't going to buy your stuff. Sure, it might get a lot of engagements if you follow what they're saying to do, but they're worthless. They're absolutely worthless. It's almost if it's that bad, I feel like it's almost unusable. Imagine if social media was real, what you could accomplish with social media. But because it's full of all this garbage stuff, it's garbage in, garbage out, I guess, is what they say. But yeah, how could they do that? How could they be so lazy? How could the college professors be selling them this garbage without even checking on it? It's like I don't know what to say other than that. Gen Z likes Donald Trump. Gen Z likes Donald Trump more than any other generation, apparently. So, I guess the world is not lost after all. Well, maybe you're on the other side and you think, oh my gosh, the world is lost. Guess what? It turns out that you're, the minority as far as opinions go if you're on that side. I'm not saying that to blast you. It's just that they've distorted the way people see the world with all this fake information. And it leads to this. And I'm sure that I've seen the White House are trying to get on TikTok, and do all this stuff on TikTok, thinking they're going to get those younger generations. You're not going to get them. They don't care about you. They like Donald Trump. They don't like you. They like Donald Trump. 2/3. We're talking 2/3. Not even like a slim majority. 2/3 of Gen Z. They like Donald Trump. Your future as a political party, and with what you've been doing, you've destroyed your party. It's going to be downhill from here. And maybe that's why they're so hell-bent on making sure that it's a one-party state. If there's only one party, like what they have in China or North Korea, then, you win elections every single time. Wow. It's crazy to hear that. So, vindication for those of you on the Trump side. Even if you're an old guy or something like that, hey, you're on the side of the younger generation. It's just the millennials that are kooks. That should, it's a good thing millennials aren't in charge of a whole lot, because apparently we're all kooks. I'm a millennial myself. And I agree. We're crazy. We're insane. We believe all kinds of crazy stuff. Went to school. We were taught that we could be astronauts and go to the moon, and ended up just staying in our parents' basement playing video games all the time, forever. Forever students. I guess that's what it is. Millennials are just, some of them still haven't graduated from college. They're just keep going. Not working, that's millennials. A bit of a rambling video, but Gen Z, that's it. Donald Trump, he's probably going to win this next time. I'll see you guys later.
ไปพะวงหลงเฝ้าสาวเจ้าบางประกงทางห้วยงงหลงเกอหาโอเวรกรรมจำพราก